How do you think the trading truce will influence the Asian equity market, especially the Chinese market, in the near term?
Very difficult to answer that question. I think that many people expressed optimism that a lot of good is going to come out of the recent meeting between Trump and President Xi. So I think that I remain optimistic that we can probably figure out a solution and a way to move forward. And I think a lot of my analysis on the yuan suggested that could be possible when I saw evidence that that could rise. And so a lot of that, I think, is comforting. And we've seen a breakout in just the Hang Seng China Enterprise Index just in the last few days, the HSCEI index. So a lot of the Chinese technology stocks have actually started to do quite well. Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, a lot of these have been gradually stabilizing and turning higher. So I think it's more bullish for China than the U.S. in the near term. I think the U.S. remains under pressure, and there's a lot of volatility, and there's real questions as to whether the Fed is hiking too rapidly and whether we're going to see a slowdown in economic growth, which many people think is likely.
You tweeted today that meaningful evidence in early November suggests a possible yuan rally. Should we expect to see yuan rally by the year end?
I think we've already seen a very, very big move in a very short period of time. So I'm skeptical that we can continue to rally all that much. I think that movement down where we have moved, one of the largest moves we've seen in the last few years, in my estimation. So near term, it's gotten a bit ahead of itself. I think you probably stabilize with regards to dollar yuan, and if anything, it might attempt to bounce a little bit in the near term, that meaning dollar bounce versus yuan. But I think the trend should start to be lower into next year. So I'm optimistic that better things are ahead of us and cooperation. I think Trump really wants to see things through and make progress. I think that's going to be a positive.
The dollar fell 0.5% against the offshore yuan, which is its weakest since September. Will the dollar keep weakening against the yuan?
I don't think it can. So to go back to the prior question, I think that we've really hit a level where it's probably going to stabilize in the short run. It's been a very dramatic move, and without any further news, I think in the next 2 or 3 months we'll certainly know more with regards to when this window gets closer, whether they make progress on agriculture. That certainly seems to be first and foremost the first thing that they'll attack. So I'm optimistic that we can see further gains in the yuan, but I think near term it's had a very, very big rise already.